Ooh, what's going on, everybody? Happy Tuesday, or as I like to call it, happy new comic book day eve. Hope everybody's doing well. 1 week away from the Super Bowl, so that's pretty pumped. And I'm always reminded of Star Wars because you guys know Newbie loves Star Wars. Boba Fett, episode 7, starting or ending, whatever the case may be. It's going to be pretty big, I hear. Just came from TiVo's channel, and they were talking about it, so I guess I had to write down all that knowledge, but I hope everybody's doing well on this Tuesday night. Big day tomorrow, obviously, new comic book day. Hope everybody got their FOC, as we talked about on our new comic book day show. Well, that Star Wars book looks like it is heating up. Avengers 53 looks like it's heating up. There's one more. There's a Black Panther, that JUCO one. It's selling for like $60, man. It is crazy. But I guess that's what happens when you own a shop and you buy the books. You can do whatever you want. So yeah, it's crazy. Like I said, good to be here. Not sure if I'm going to be joined by my amigos just yet. Simply because, well, they're fucking late as hell. So we'll see what happens. But nevertheless, we're still going to rock it. We're still going to talk comics. Let's just go down the chat real quickly before we get started. Boom. Oh, man, 7:30. Sid, what's going on, man? Happy Newbie channel debut. I don't think I've ever seen you, but thanks for tuning in, man. Gold medal goes to you. Mr. Dan Delatorre, nice job. Sid, silver goes to the U.S. Yes, sir, Dan. What's going on, man? How you doing? A reminder that I could use everybody's help this Friday on the Tony Sanders show. I'm going against their toughest competitor, Doc, for the heavyweight championship. It's also my birthday that day. So make sure you guys go check out Tony Sanders' channel. If you like wrestling, if you like comics, it's a little mix of both. Go support Dan. He's going for the heavyweight title. So that should be good. I'm a former champion on that show. So it's a good time, man. If you're new to the YouTube or you don't know those guys, make sure you guys go check them out for sure. Sid Dan Delatorre, happy early birthday. Wet Dreams, how does the crowd feel about Punchline's first full? That first full usually means second appearance, though. That's the problem. Eternals 10, Foreshadow, first cover appearance. Underlining Thanos' uncle. I feel it is very under-ordered as they released the art very late. Now it's past FOC. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people were talking about that book, right? So who knows? We'll see. We'll see how it does, but I think it'll be pretty successful. Michael, what's going on, man? Copper, foil, platinum. Just give me whatever. Participation ribbon, okay. But what's going on, man? Thanks for joining. Johnny Dakota, a fellow Canadian. How's it going, man? Wesley, one half of the Future Specs. What's going on, man? Sundays, 5:30, 6 p.m. Don't know about this week because it's Super Bowl, so don't take my word for it, but they might be doing something. They might not. Usually, I think the last 2 Super Bowls, they've done something earlier, but make sure you guys go check out Future Specs. TKO Collectibles. What's going on, man? How you doing? Uncanny Swag. What's going on, man? NFT Metal. Yeah, my NFT, guys, is still available if you guys want it. I got 150,000 left. They're each $550 Canadian. So if you buy 2, you get one 20% off. You guys know the deal. Philly Barn, what's going on, man? I just saw you over there at TiVo's channel. How's it going, brother? Hawaiian Punch, my brother. What's happening, dude? Hope everything is well. RP, man, I keep forgetting. And I apologize. It's my fault. Are you coming to Toronto Comic-Con in March? I just want to know. There's a lot of people. I just want to make sure that everybody gets together. Everybody hangs out, man. Really like to see you again, obviously. And in March, I think it's the week after or the week. Yeah, it's the week after. Up in that Mississauga show, there's another one. So it's going to be Comic-Con and then that Mississauga show. I'm probably going to be selling at that one. So definitely come by. Thorough, my man. What's going on, dude? He just finished up doing his indie show, guys. I suggest you guys go and take a look. You got a lot of knowledge, a lot of stuff, and free information is good information. Let's see here. Will not. What's going on, man? How you doing, brother? Just cruised. My guy, what's happening, dude? 1/5 of the comic Kingpins is in the house. What's going on, man? Brandon, man, where's everybody? What the hell's going on here? T-Bone, what's happening, dude? Authentic Style, Dave Collects. What's going on, man? Matrix, all good people in the neighborhood. Southpaw Brad, what's happening, dude? Let's see. Guys, don't forget, Newbie just created his own NFT and it's for sale. You're damn right, man. You're damn right. Yo, what's happening? Yeah, dude. So let's get it going. Street Side's in the house. What's going on, man? How you doing? Street Side Anthony's in the house, one of the good guys in the community. I can't wait to go to to the New York area and just go hang and talk shop with these guys, man. Anthony's like really good for the community, so definitely can't wait for the borders to open. I forgot to ask too, but I remember you saying you hate traveling to the 666. I will definitely be there, man. Definitely be there. Thorough, man. Of course, dude. You're my guy. You're my guy. Always. David's in the house. Maybe we can get Just Cruise to bargain with you and get some deals. Yeah, absolutely, man. I can't wait for that show. I'm really looking forward to the show. It's the first show of the year, so I'm pretty pumped, and it's the big one. A lot of announcements. There's a few things people go into this show that I don't want to spoil yet, but I will have some announcements coming for Toronto Comic Con shortly. So, Newbie Kames, when am I getting the invite to the Newbieverse? Dude, I will message you after this show. We will make it happen just like that, dude. Pull out the red carpet, everything, man. Champagne is on me. Newbie, I was wondering the same. I just pictured that John Travolta meme of him looking. Yeah, dude, it's all good, man. Yo, joining tonight and hopping to fix your verbal typos and other things we love. Hey, it's all good, man. I always tell my wife the same thing. My wife will say, what did you say? And I'm like, did you understand me? And she'll be like, not really, but yes. And I'm like, then there we go. You don't have to correct it. So we're all good. All right, guys. Well, let's get the show rolling. You guys know the deal. You guys come in a little bit late on the rewind, whatever the case may be. I thank you for tuning in. Give you guys a shout out. Tonight's show, Undervalued comics. There's a few comics. There's 10 of them that I think that we should definitely be looking at. Sometimes it's easy to say, hey, you know what? This book is not in my face. Nobody's talking about it. So I'm not going to get it. But the goal is sometimes to get the book when it's undervalued. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. So let's get it going. Hopping, hoping. That was quick. There you go. So yeah, let's start the show, guys. Dun, 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 dun. All right. Undervalued. And first up, you guys, I don't have it on this one, but make sure you guys go check out Bleeker St Comics. $10 a press, $5 a clean here up in the north, or in the north, in the Niagara area, man. He's a good dude. Channel sponsor, his website, Bleeker St Comics. So make sure you guys go check him out if you're ever in the area as well. Sunday, he is always at the Turner Crest Flea Market. So without further ado, let's get the show going, man. I'm pretty pumped. First up, ooh, yes. All right. I know what you guys are thinking. Noob. Some YouTubers are saying don't get this book. That's totally fine. Why are they saying that? Why are people saying don't get this book? It's got a ton of first appearances, which is a plus. It is literally under a $20 book. I just picked up 2 more copies that I'm sending off to CGC for $10. It's got an interesting first appearance in there. The biggest one, obviously, being Cullen Bloodstone. People who are on Elsa, people who are on Ulysses are not on Cullen. I don't understand it. It's really weird to me. So this book is definitely a big book to get for that price range. I mean, it's not gonna. Could it be $1,000? Maybe. This one skyrocketed, right? There were some people pushing the book. They were like, "Hey, get this book, get this book," and then out of nowhere, everybody was like, "Oh yeah, no, it's not worth anything." I had some people when I was bringing this book up say to me, "Dude, no, certain people are saying, don't get it. It's dying." Same with Infamous Iron Man 1. A lot of people are saying, "Oh, don't get that," but why? For the same reasons that people were hyping that book up. They use the same reason not to get it. So I don't understand it. So this one, while it's down right now, I think is a solid book to get. A lot of first appearances, like I said. The horror world is coming, whether you believe it or not. It's going to happen, man. So definitely something that I would be picking up, especially, like I said, I mean, I picked up 2 copies for $10. I have one already at CGC, so I should be getting it back in like 2024. Yeah, so three copies in total, but definitely a book that's obtainable and all that, man. So I don't know what you guys think. I mean, my guys aren't here, so I'm gonna be asking the crowd for most of it. But yeah, you know what, Southpaw? You'd be surprised, man. I found all 3 copies in the wild, all 3 of them. No eBay, no nothing. So Bloodstone is a Bloodstone. Find it cheap is a no-brainer, and have not stumbled on it yet. I found 3 in the same area, not in the same shop, obviously, and obviously in like different sections. So the first one that's at CGC now is probably like, I don't know, 6 months now that's been out, and then I just found 2 which I'm sending off shortly. So yeah, definitely, a good book. It's still out there too, right? That's the most important part about all of this, is the fact that it's still out there, and sometimes people might forget it. I know the Avengers Arena run is not like that, sought after. It's not that great. In sense of like, people looking through it and stuff like that. So you might sleep on it, but definitely a book I would get, man. Um, if you need a co-host, you could have called me. Dan, I didn't know, man. To my knowledge, these guys are still hopping on. So I don't know. Maybe they're playing a prank on me. I don't know. We'll see. 1 in 25 variant. I haven't seen that one. That's the one I haven't seen. Comment Dude is saying he hasn't found it either. Yeah. So it's really tough. Man, you know what? If the next one I find, I'll just give it away. How about that? I'll do that. I had to find mine online. Yeah. What are they going for online? Because I'm assuming that they're about like maybe $40, something around there online. Last time I checked, like when it was hot. I don't know what it is now. So Empire, what's going on, man? I've never seen this book in the wild. Damn. I just found one tonight. There you go, T-Bone. What's going on? And how many were ordered by retail? See, yeah, that I have no idea, man. Got the Papa Bloodstone and the Lidra. Might as well complete the family. Yeah. You know what, RP? I've been talking about it. That Marvel Presents 1, the white cover, first appearance of Ulysses Bloodstone, man, in 9.8. That's a $280 book Canadian. That's nothing for a 9.8, especially if Blade's coming. People are on Elsa. You got to think that, Ulysses is going to come. I still think that is a good investment to get. Now, that book didn't make the list. It made the last list, but definitely a good book to have. All right. Newbie, what's going on, man? Hey, what's going on? Nowhere Bound. Nemesis Prime, what's going on? He was just on the TiVo show, was just checking them out. Then they started talking Star Wars, and it was like Japanese to me. But what's going on, man? How you doing? Yeah, so let's kick it, man. Let's kick it. So yeah, this one's still in the wild, like I said. So make sure you guys don't overlook it. If you find it in good shape, I mean, obviously, it's a black cover, so be careful. But Cullen Bloodstone, along with all the other first appearances, the Cullen one is probably the big one. All right, let's move on to the second book, guys. Second book, one of the books that I've been specking on for a long time. If you guys caught one of my first shows, probably episode, 15, I talked about this. This book was like 50 cents, maybe $1 when I was talking about it. But Black Cat 1, man, solo series. I am big on the solo series. I think that they're big. I think they're very slept on until the characters show up. ASM 94. I mean, I think this is the next best book. I mean, I know some people will argue and say, you know what? Probably get the second appearance. I really think that this one's the way to go with it. You don't really see a lot of them either. However, the copies that I do find in the wild are beat up. So, you kind of have a choice. You can either pick them up when you see them, depending, who cares about the condition, or you can kind of, step to the plate and maybe pay like $20 for a good copy. I think on eBay, they were going for about $25, $30. This one has heated up a little bit more in probably say the last, I don't know, it probably heated up in October, November, somewhere around there. It's cooled down since, but again, guys, I mean, people just hop on something really quickly and they jump off of it or they forget about it. This one wouldn't be a bad book to just pick up and kind of just put it away for now, just until she comes. It was selling 10 to 40. Who knows now, man? So who knows? And me, I don't know. I think Black Cat's going to show up sooner or later. And I know some people were saying, oh, it's going to be in Morbius show, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that Morbius show is going to have her in it. I think it could be something like Spider-Man related. He's going to college now, so who knows? Mary Jane is not in the picture. So there could be, something along the lines where, Spidey gets a little lonely. He meets somebody else, things like that. Who knows? Possibly Harry Osborn, possibly, that whole gang coming into the next kind of future projects. I will say, I do think that he might meet Harry and Felicia in college. I just have a feeling that they could bring those characters in, but who knows? This one, some of the experienced and older guys might see this one all the time, but this one is definitely one that I would be on the lookout for. It's one of my favorite books to pick up. just simply because I think it's got so much value, man. You know, when you see those pictures and you see those posts and someone's got like 40 copies of something, and then they usually get comments like, "Oh man, how did you get that many comics?" And like, "Oh my god, you must have spent a fortune." And then usually the guy that owns the pictures like, "Nah, man, I picked these up when they were like $1." That's kind of where I see this one. I think one day someone's gonna have maybe like 40 copies of this, maybe spend like $30 for them or $20 for them, because it's worth pretty much nothing. And like before, and maybe make some coin at the end of the day, because I really do think that this one is gonna be a good book to have. So be on the lookout for it. This one, well, I don't want to ruin the list, but if I don't talk about it, I'll explain it to you later. This was the older. Yeah. No, I totally get that, man. I mean, like older guys in their like 40s, 50s, and 60s who collect. I'm 30. In 90s, I mean, I think I got my balls hung when I was in like 95, 94. So, but definitely a good book to have, guys. So, and ladies. All right, let's move on to book number 3 here. All right, book number 3, a little bit more modern. Now, this one might surprise a lot of people because, well, newbie, why are you talking about DC? Like, that's not your style. Well, this is one of my favorite books. I love this book. I don't know why I'm super attached to it. This one was one of those books that I paid, or I got about like 5 copies, and then I ended up selling all 5 copies due to the fact that it was selling for about 25 or $30 on day of release. So for those reasons, I hate it, because now anytime I go to a show, I see 9-8 copies and they're selling for about $250. I can't get a copy found for under $250. It just pisses me off. Now, I know my comic shop has a few. I know some people have told me, hey, you know what? You could probably find some cheaper. And I get it. But like, man, I hate the fact that I have to pay that kind of money, even $100 for a graded one, when I had, the perfect copy. So I hate it. News was swirling. I think it was like 2 weeks ago, maybe last week. I can't remember. The show was canceled. I think it was 2 weeks. So they were going to cancel the show or cancel the run in the comics and things like that. So who knows where this is going to take the show. I really do think that they have a character here. So maybe not now, maybe down the road, but it doesn't hurt to keep one of these copies, especially if you bought it right off the rack. It's only a year old, but if you bought it off the rack, I mean, why wouldn't you hold on to it? It was like $5-6. Just hold on to it. If it's a 9-8, I would definitely keep it, just simply because, I mean, it's kind of held its ground at 160 to 250 Canadian, especially in shows up here. So I don't know. But this one, I think, will have its day down the road. And you guys know, I don't have to tell you, patience. Patience is like the biggest thing if you want to make some money, especially if you're flipping or holding books. Like, it's patience. You don't want to, sell it too early, and you don't want to sell it too late. But don't sell it and just give it away for free, basically. So, keep that in mind. Let's see here. They did a newspaper clip with Black Cat in title in Morbius trailer. You never know. Yeah, no, and that's why I think a lot of people were on it, right? A lot of people were saying, "Oh, Black Cat, Black Cat." That background cover has been used so much in the 80s and 90s. I always thought that was an underrated comic. I think I have like 10 copies. Damn, man. Anthony, that's insane, man. Hopefully they're in good shape, because like I said, the ones that I find in the wild, like at flea markets, antique shops, things like that, they're always pretty rough. Like there's always at least one corner that's like just fucking destroyed. Man, have BK's first and not one of the number one issue. Go figure. It happens sometimes. I have a few on their way from CGC now, dude. That's insane. If you ever sell one, let me know, because I definitely want to get my hands on one of these again. And I know people sometimes are weird when I ask them, especially like newer books. I'm like, hey, you got a Wonder Woman Future State 1 or Future State Wonder Woman 1? I think there's a lot of potential in this character down the road. So who knows? I know there was Just Cruz might know this. And if Ozzy's in here, we went to the show and the guy had like maybe like 5 or 6 copies. Like, and this is what kind of bothered me, is like the guy brought these copies graded to the show, but he didn't want to sell them. It was really like the weirdest thing, because I was like, oh man, like how much do you want for it? And at the time, this was like October, he was like, I just want $250. And I was like, ooh, $250. And I remember saying to him, I'm like, maybe like 240, like so dumb. And he was like, I don't know, man, I got to think about it. But he literally showed me like 5-6 copies, and he's like, you know what? On second thought, I don't want to sell them, man. This character is gonna be huge. So I don't know. He brought books to a show that he wasn't gonna sell. It's really weird. I have one up for sale for way less than Noob. Oh, I don't have any for sale, dude. I got none. I don't own any of these. Don't own any of these. But 9/8 are selling for 170 or 250 up here, and on eBay. So I got 3 raw copies, dude. Why don't you send them off to CGC? At least one. Newbie, save your money and buy your Tales of Suspense 39. Absolutely. That's the goal. That's the goal. That's the goal. Grabbed the 9.8 Frizzen variant recently. Ooh, I like that cover, man. That's the one where she's standing. It's like that yellow one, I think. I think that's the one. What's up, New? Hey, what's going on, Brad? How you doing, man? Thanks for joining us on New Comic Book Day Eve, sir. Second print might be a good play too. Absolutely. I haven't seen one of those in a long time, actually. Definitely not in the wild or any shows. So I am a Black Cat snob. All high grades. Ooh, there you go, man. Hey, you got a good one then. Let's see here. Empire. Is it me or is CGC website down? I can't get into their site to view my submission. Ooh, if CGC is down, that's not good. Dun, 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 dun. Sorry, man. I have one up for sale. Gonna hit you. Oh, gotcha. Okay. No worries, man. Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm not selling it for that price, but all right, let's go on to the next book, guys. Book number 4. And I know what you're thinking, Noob. What? Come on, no, seriously? Because that's usually the comments I get when I bring this book up in conversation. But we've got Amazing Adventures number 11, super undervalued book. And I capitalized that for a reason, not because I want to yell, just simply because I think it's a very undervalued book. First appearance of Fur Beast, gray right there. You guys know I'm notorious for saying that, Uncanny X-Men 266 is the thong cover. I mean, this is like a second place here, almost the thong cover again, but original G to the show, as the cool kids would say. Undervalued character overall, right? I mean, like when you think of Beast and you think of the show back when we were, in the 90s. I mean, I grew up when I came to Canada watching the show. This was the show, and Beast was always just that, underrated or overlooked character. He was always there. He was badass in the movies, but nobody gave a fuck. So yeah, I definitely think that it's a really undervalued book, and I think that when they, introduce X-Men, I mean, I could totally see them bringing this character in 100%. Undervalued 100%. Look at the CGC numbers, and they're obtainable, right? So CGC 5.5, $280. 7.0, $380. Now, again, it's in Canadian, guys, so keep that in mind. But let's do a little bit of math here. For a 5.5, which you're basically 50-50 if it kind of looks rough when you see them in the wild, right? Why would you pay $280? Because if you can pay $30 to $80 plus your CGC fee, which is $50, right? You can literally just basically spend almost $100 on a raw copy that you found. You take, you roll the dice. You might not get a 5.5, maybe you get a 4.5 or a 5, but regardless, you save yourself $100. It is an undervalued book where when the X-Men come, I mean, you can bet. I'm going to bet that this one's going to be a book that a lot of people might be chasing for a quick flip. Is it $1,000 book? I don't think so. I mean, it's possible in high grades, 100%, but in the lower stuff, I don't think so. I think this one could be, right up the alley there. I wouldn't sleep on it. Some rumors of this character showing up in certain shows. So keep that in mind as well. Who knows, man? Just saying. I think there was a poster of Yara in the background in the Peacemaker show. Shut up. What episode? TKO, I actually got home today and my wife was watching Suicide Squad, and I thought she was watching Peacemaker. I was like, what are you watching? And she's like, oh, it's Suicide Squad. And I think she just had it in the background, but it was bad. Like it was pretty bad. Like I'm not gonna lie. I could only watch, like when you watch something because it's so bad and then you're just stuck watching it. That's kind of how that was for me. So the current Beast sucks ass. Right in the middle of the era with those black cover backgrounds, classic bronze. Yeah, 100%. I really do think that. I mean, I just recently sold mine. I had a 5.5, and I'd have to check my eBay, but I do think that I sold it 340, 320 Canadian, somewhere around there. So like a little above average, but there was a little spike there, right? As a lot of X-Men characters. So definitely one to be on the lookout for. Again, especially if you find it in the wild. And I know Swaggle House is a big fan of issue number 15 as well. Make sure you guys go check out 15 as well, because you could find that one for about $10. That one's not a bad secondary book to have for this character. I've yet to meet people who are like, yo, I'm a big Beast fan. But I mean, I'm sure there is some out there, right? So we'll see where it goes. But yeah, definitely don't sleep on this one. I do think he might be showing up in a show near soon. I'm not saying Moon Knight. No, I don't think Beast is going to show up in Moon Knight, but I do think that he'll show up at some point. Mr. Comic Ozzy, what's going on, man? Hey, better late than never. Yes, good things come to those who wait. That's what Kanye West said. And I mean, he's living his best life, so he's got to be smart. Ozzy, I'd like to thank you again, man. If you guys haven't checked it out, New Comic Book Day, Comic News and Comic Spec. Ozzy, my guy, here in Ontario, definitely helped me out. He joined the show on Sunday, and we, had a good conversation. So make sure you guys go check out the Rewind and go check out his channel. He's got a lot of good content on there as well. Oh, thank you, Southpaw. Don't forget to smash that thumbs up. Yes. One of the caveats that I have with my wife is, since I married you, I don't ever have to watch chick flicks. Is Suicide Squad a chick flick though, Dan? I'm just saying. I don't know. My wife will, like, when there's Marvel movies that come out, she'll definitely come with me. So I look forward to those, even though she has no idea what's going on. We have a rule too. So she knows a little, a little thing or two about certain movies. But when we go to the movie, it is like known, like, hey, if you have a question, you have to wait till the end, because like I can't be distracted. I have to like watch what's going on, right? So sometimes, we get out of the movie and she'll be like, okay, I had a question. Okay, so like in the first scene, this guy, and I didn't get this guy, and who, so it gets to that. But I give her credit. She holds it down with that stuff. No. Oh, okay. Mr. Ultra Maximus, what's going on, brother? How you doing? We are not worthy. North 49, what's happening, man? How you doing? Sharing is letting people play with your toys after they no longer bring you happiness. Jesus. Kanye lost to Pete Davidson yet. Okay, I'm gonna say something right now, and it could be an unpopular opinion, or people just might not care. I think Julia Fox is fucking smoking. Like, I think she's sexy as hell. There, I said it. And like, I don't like how she's like, basically painting black eye like this on her. Like, no. But if you watch like just before, when her, I mean, she's fucking sexy. I'm just gonna say she could play Poison Ivy any day of the week. That's all. Hey newbie, are you still talking to Mr. Miracle, aka Dave? He has not put out any content for a while now. I'm missing his spec. I talked to him for here and there. I haven't seen him. I think he was doing Grader's Note with Comic Head 84 not too long ago. She's a fox. She is a fox. But yeah, guys, getting back to the book, yeah, definitely, we're gonna see this character, fingers crossed, in that X-Men 97 show. He was vital part. If you guys remember too, Beast did have a relationship with Spider-Man when they did that crossover in the cartoon as well. He's a scientist, all that stuff, try to connect the dots. I do think that he's going to be an X-Men that we see. So I'd probably buy this. This is probably at its not all-time low, but it's cheaper than it's been probably in the last year and a half. So, and not to mention, there's probably people out there that have this book that just want to get rid of it. I mean, I'm not suggesting you lowball them, but like, someone's got it for 300. I mean, shoot them a 220. I don't know. Maybe they take it. You never know. Sam Rock, what's going on, man? How you doing? Another fellow Canadian. Hopefully seeing Sam again in Toronto for Toronto Comic-Con in March. All right, let's move on to the next book. Next book. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. Noob, is that you? Is this a Halloween costume? No, it's Quasar #1. And I love the solo stuff. I tell you guys all the time. Quasar 1 for solo series, second best book, I think. I mean, once you get rid of the argument, Hulk 234, Captain America 217. Me personally, I think it is Hulk 234. I think that is the winner book. Not because I hate Captain America, just I think that's the book. So when you kind of get through that maze, I think this is the second, if not, I mean, I'll play nice, third best book to get for Quasar. Definitely cheap. You could find 9-8 candidates anywhere basically for about like $10. Definitely a good book to have. What's up, man?
Shit, on FaceTime.
Oh my god. Are you fucking serious right now?
Camera's not working, man. So I got to
Fuck. What's going on, everybody? Hey, if you guys don't know, this is my guy Hyper. This is not FaceTime. What's going on, Hype?
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. This is FaceTime.
Oh fuck. What's going on, man? How you doing?
Nothing much, man. What's up?
Not much, man. Hey, thanks for joining. We're on like our 5th book here.
Yeah, no, I was doing some work stuff and then I noticed that you're going solo, so I figured, I'll hop in. Obviously, like camera's not all set up or anything, so I figure I'll just go audio only.
Oh, you're a sweetheart, man. I appreciate it. Yeah. It's always nice when I have somebody else to talk because then I can take like a water break. So I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
All right, as long as it's just a water break, you're not taking like a piss break or anything, right?
No, man. No. But hey, thanks for taking time out of your busy day, late night, to come chat comics with us, man.
Yeah, man. No worries.
I'm going to come out right and say it. Avengers Annual 10, because that's what I do. Yeah, you do, man. You do. Hype, before I go on a tangent about this book, anything you want to say about Quasar #1, man?
I'll be honest.
Come on.
I think I made it abundantly clear in other episodes that cosmic characters aren't exactly my forte, to be honest. I usually let guys like you and BC kind of take the helm on that. So I really don't have much unless it's like an obvious character like a Nova or someone like
Never
that.
heard of him. Never heard of him.
But yeah, Quasar, I'm gonna have to let you take the floor on this one, and hopefully I can add more to the next book.
I'm just thinking, like, Quasar's got such an easy costume. To like, I'm surprised no one's ever dressed up as Quasar. I've never seen a Quasar at a con, at a show, at a birthday party, at a bar mitzvah, at anything. So I'm surprised, right? But like I was saying,
wait, they do cosplays at bar mitzvahs?
I don't know. I mean, from what I've seen from like Drake's music videos, sometimes they do. I don't know.
All right. I mean, I haven't been to many bar mitzvahs
No, neither
myself.
have I. Neither have I. This one I just think is a good book because not only the solo thing, but like I was saying kind of earlier, right? Like this book does have one of those, not controversy as in like Hulk 180 and Hulk 181, but it does have that, hey, let's argue about this. Let's debate this, with Captain America 217 and Hulk 234, right? So those ones are always that. So I always like to think, in situations like that, okay, if the market's going to dictate one or the other, maybe why don't we just go to the first solo? And I think it's very slept on because while I do think that this character could come, and especially with what James Gunn said, what was it, last week or 2 weeks ago? We're done with this team after Guardians of the Galaxy 3. A character like Quasar could show up. Definitely could show up. And we've seen first appearances and then this first solo really take off. Now, will this be $1,000 book? I mean, CGC 9.8s are selling for $300. So if he shows up, what's going to happen? This is easily maybe a $700 book.
Well, the thing is, okay, I'm just looking at the the Marvel what do you call it, the logo and all that. I'm guessing like just looking at the book, it was probably what, early 90s.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. I'm just surprised that it's even at 300, honestly, for a 9.8 CGC. I mean, but then again, with the market, nothing really should surprise me.
No,
to be honest.
Now, I pay attention though. Raw copies can be found in the wild. I found a copy in the wild for literally like $10.
I don't doubt that. Yeah, I feel like this is a book that you, especially because it is a #1 of a book that looks like was printed in the 90s. I figured this would be something that you should be able to find in the wild.
Yeah, this is definitely one that I suggest. I kind of want to send this one off to CGC, like 100%. I really do. For my total buy-in, $55 for the CGC, then $10 for actually finding it. I think it's just a no-brainer, especially, even if it doesn't hit 9.8, 9.6. I mean, 9.6s are still at like 150. So I mean, even for like that little bit of a flip, I think it's a good thing.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, Steve Bradley gave the info. It's actually from December, not December, sorry, October
89.
89. I don't know my
Yeah.
months. My bad.
October's 10, man. September's
Yeah.
9. Just
It's
showing it.
it's FaceTime. It's FaceTime.
Yeah.
That's
What up, bitches? Dan De La Torre. Quasar is one of the most rare characters from Marvel that I never got into. In fact, I don't even think I have one copy in my entire collection with this character.
damn.
There's a lot of There's a lot of book. I see a lot of Quasar books, digging through stuff
Yeah,
all the
and
time.
BC's even saying that he's picking it up for $5. So
Damn. Well, hey, I think it's a good one, man. I just talked about this one with the Black Cat book, because I brought up Black Cat
oh, I
1.
saw that. I saw that in the
Yeah.
previous slide. Yeah.
And I think this book is perfect example too. Like, we always see those photos of people basically, you know, having like 50 copies of a book. I think that this one could be one, because this one's still obtainable. Like, you literally put in, maybe $100, you could probably get like a handful of them, right? Especially if one dealer's selling like a fucking long box of it. I think he probably want to get rid of it. Fuck yeah. Quasar also has his first Venomized cover, number 30 something. Oh, I'd have to check that out. Actually, that'd be kind of cool.
Hmm.
I find these for $2 to $3. Yeah, there you go. I paid $10 for mine. That was like a 9.8 can. Like, I pulled it out. It was a 9.8. Like, it was just crazy.
Okay, cool.
Wasn't Quasar's first? Yes, 234. 234. It's all good, man. Quasar is almost certainly coming in some form or another. Too many. Oh yeah, 100%. And that's why I keep telling. Like, people laugh though, but I've been laughed at. Infamous Iron Man 1 newbie. You're just talking shit. Countless other ones, man. People just laugh. So I don't know. I think this is a good one. So we'll see. I grabbed a couple in great condition. I'll hold for a bit. Why not?
Someone
Exactly.
brought up a cover that I actually have seen make the rounds on IG. That pregnant Quasar cover.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that.
I
Actually, I
hate
think
that
BC
one.
picked that up as well. I don't know. I never actually read the issue, but I'm curious what the hell that was all about.
I don't know the significance of that one either. Like, I just think it looks like kind of weird. Like, just
It's
that.
I mean, it's definitely a very striking cover. It got my
It's
attention.
not one that I would CGC and put on my wall. I'll say that.
Yeah, I was surprised that it was actually Greg Capullo that actually did the art for that. And I'm a fan of Capullo's because he did the Scott Snyder Batman series.
TKO. If you guys have never read Hulk 234, he's basically break it down for you. So Marvel Boy gets up and says, "My name is Quasar now." If you guys have ever been in a group of friends and you've thought to yourself, "Hey, you know what? I want to go by Hollywood Joe." Most of those people around you would probably laugh and be like, "Man, shut the hell up." And then come up with like a completely different name. So I'm surprised that, the people around Marvel Boy were like, "All right, yeah, Quasar, let's do that." Because I would have been like, lame. But hey, it is what it is. I thought he was pretty cool in the early 90s. You know what? That's gonna be my mission in the next 2 months. I'm gonna try to collect as many of these as possible
Of that
and
number one?
and take a picture. And then when this character does blow up, people are gonna be like, "What?" And then I'll just sell them fucking like $80 raw or something. I don't know.
Oh
Something
yeah, look,
crazy.
I have no doubt, especially with what you're saying. If I mean, it seems like you and other people are pretty adamant that he will be coming to the MCU, and when his day comes, I mean, obviously, first appearance is gonna, have a new level as well as the solo series. So I don't doubt this book will hit a new level once that time comes in the MCU.
Dan, come to think about it, I do have Hulk 234. I have so many comics that I forget what I actually do.
That's like low key flex. That's like a
And
low key flex right there.
okay, listen, that's what I said at the beginning, though, Minuteman. Like, it depends on what side of the argument you want to stand on. Some people say Captain America 217. That's the first appearance of Marvel Boy. Damn it, BC. Ever since BC said Marvel, I always like this. I'm saying Marvel. It depends, right? Because that is first appearance of Marvel Boy. Holy fuck.
Oh gosh,
Wendell.
he's got you cursed.
His name is Wendell Vaughn, right? But then in Hulk 234, it's the first appearance technically of Quasar. Marvel Boy becomes Quasar. That is what's on CGC. I like the Hulk book way better. That's just me. So AOA, what's going on, man? All right, let's shift gears here and let's move on to the next book. Woo!
Okay.
A book that recently, well, I say recently, but Winter Soldier came out in what, April last year? So this book heated up like crazy last year, and again, just an undervalued book. Why? Simply because people forget about it. It's not in our face. Nobody's talking about it. But first appearance of Joaquin Torres as Falcon, future character. Why not? The door is left wide open for that character. Wide open. If you guys remember, Sam literally gives him those wings and says, keep them. And then he's just staring at them and then like walks off with them. So I really think that he could become Falcon or some sort of whatever in the future. 9.6s right now, $100 to $120 Canadian. Raw copies, no more than $50 Canadian. 9.8s, back to reality at that $300 range. If anybody remembers this book spiked to $625 Canadian during the show. That's a huge, huge loss.
I was insane when I saw those prices back then.
Yeah. And people were still buying them. That was the crazy part. This book spiked. So again, full circle. Every book does it. No book is, no matter the character, high or low, right? Like a lot of these characters just do fall off. So again, you got this one right here. Now, hype. Somebody in our group does have this book because I remember somebody showing it off, but
it's
I can't
probably
remember.
Face. If it's one person that would have this book, it would be Face, because I don't know what modern book he doesn't have at this point.
I don't know what book he doesn't have. Like I think he just has them all.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it would be Face, or my second guess would be BC.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry, Unix, yeah. Joaquin Torres, yeah. I've got about 4 copies. I'm trying to find one of these now, just simply because like when the book spiked, I didn't want to I know Keys found a lot of this run, like the Captain America Sam Wilson stuff in Big B's short boxes. I was always trying to get this book just because I always just kind of like the character. But I was just never willing to pay, a premium for it when the show was going on, because my mindset is, okay, if I'm late to the party, I'll just buy the book like later when it's cooled off. Right. It's not like they were going to make a Joaquin Torres solo movie. Right. It just wasn't going to happen.
I mean, that's kind of how I am with this book. I mean, look, the cover is pretty dope. So it has that going for it. The character itself, I haven't seen much of Joaquin Torres in, the Falcon Winter Soldier to make a conclusion if that actor or character is, able to kind of branch off and kind of carry, I guess carrying a franchise might be too strong, but just kind of have a presence on screen. So that's kind of why I'm a bit iffy on this character's future in the MCU. Like, is he just going to be relegated to just like a supporting role? That's why I'm a bit iffy about people paying, top dollars for this book. I mean, look, finding in the back bin is one thing, but like you said, paying, what was it, 600 you said?
625 during the show.
Yeah, that's a lot of faith, I gotta say.
He does have, like, to your point, hype, he does have that kid brother, supporting role. Like, I don't necessarily think that this guy could have his own show. I don't think he could hold the show. I don't think he could hold a movie. Like, I just think that he would be one of those, like, a crowd favorite in the sense that he'd be kind of in the background and just like kind of not goofy, but at the same time, like he was kind of loose and like trying to make jokes with Sam Wilson's character in the show. So like, I think that that's kind of the role that he could have, but like nothing massive. But he shows up again, this book spikes, right? So that's just how the game works.
Yeah, but okay, here's the thing. Okay, a more popular character, you would say, is Bucky Barnes, right? Bucky Barnes at this point is more popular than Joaquin Torres, and we've already seen a ceiling for that book at this point.
Yeah,
and even his future in the MCU, how much more can they really do with, Bucky / Winter Soldier at this point. So you kind of know where the ceiling is for that book. So knowing that, that's why I'm more surprised how this book, is hitting the levels it's hitting right now. I can't see a character like this honestly surpassing Bucky Barnes in terms of popularity. So that's why I'm taking a wait and see approach with this one. I mean, yeah, look, I'm all for having new characters in the MCU. Um, but again, I think it's just highly speculative in terms of expecting something like this, a character like this, sorry, to kind of reach the status that people are willing to pay for it.
I'm kind of like worried because like I don't think I would pay $300 for this.
Yeah.
Like I just thinking like very quickly like books that I could get with that money. I mean, Marvel Superheroes 20 comes to mind. A raw copy of Fantastic Four Annual 2. I mean, low grade, but at the same
Mhm.
time, I mean, I'd rather have those books than this one for that price, 100%.
Yeah, this would be a book that I would say that, look, if you have a couple of copies, like Uni mentioned, you had 4 copies. This would be one of those books I would put in that category that once that character, is back in the limelight and then he gets that next wave, that would be one of those characters that I personally would kind of sell on the high.
Yeah.
It's,
I would too. I knew one guy around here who had like 10 copies of this book and like sold it during the show, and he like laughed. I think he made like $120 off everything, but he got them all at cover, right? So
yeah.
it's a nice like $1,200. So I don't know.
And that's the thing. That's what you notice. A lot of these books were sitting pretty much at cover, or sometimes even in those bargain bins for the longest time.
Yeah. All right, enough of this Captain America, Joaquin Torres. Let's go into another book, fan favorite of mine. I pick it up all the time. West Coast Avengers #1. Why? Why are you talking West Coast Avengers all the time, newbie? Just simply because I keep reading all the hints and, the mazes and everything that's been put in front of me, man. I really do think a lot of people still sleep on the fact that Moira Brandon was mentioned in the Hawkeye show. I don't think that they just planted that name. The fact that she has relations to Hawkeye, the fact that she has relations to, Kate Bishop, I don't think that's a coincidence. And I'm okay with giving people this information and people still not buying this book because I can still find it for close to nothing, which I did. I have like a 9.8 candidate that I paid $10 for, and I'm okay with that. 9.8s though, man, like I just said, I mean, you could find them very cheap, but 9.8s are selling for $350 Canadian. So, you do the math at $50 to send it off to CGC, $10 for the book. You're looking at $65. If you could sell it for $350, I mean, that's some good chunk change right there.
Here's my question though: how hard could it be to get a 9.8 on this book? Because it's pretty much a more or less a white cover, right? So
it's pretty hard. There's a photo that I took when I came across like 10 copies, and like not all of them were in the best shape, man. Like some of them were pretty rough, and like you said, it's a white cover, obviously. So it's hard to spot out some stuff. So you might think you have a 9.8, but it's pretty tough.
I mean, look, like we've had different versions of West Coast Avengers, throughout comics, and yeah, it seems like we are shaping towards some formation of West Coast Avengers just based on some of the characters that they've already sprinkled into the MCU. Question is, which version are we going to get? Are we going to get like this version, or the version like the more modern version that Kelly Thompson brought in 2018? Who's to say? But I mean, somebody, I mean, there must be some member of one of these iterations that's going to probably form that group, I would think. It's just one of those, I don't want to call it like an underground group, but it's almost like that I guess liken it almost like to the cooler version of the Avengers, I guess, more to the youthful generation. So
That's kind of what I feel with it too.
Yeah.
I think there's just way too many hints. There's way too many hints that this is going to be a thing. With characters and in the background and just things they've said. I really do think that this could be a book that people overlook. I mean, it's been overlooked for a very long time. But still, I mean, a spinoff or something. I still go back to that Moira Brandon. That was one of the first things I took from that show. Like the first, I think it was episode 2. That I was like, why would they talk about Moira Brandon and being out in California and the fact that she's Kate Bishop's aunt? Like, just all those things I started connecting, and I'm like, they're not doing this for like, they could have just said fucking John Smith or Joe Blow, right? Like, they didn't have to go that route, but the fact that they planted those seeds and literally said California. Well, what do you think when you think about West Coast? You think of Cali, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. I'm just thinking.
Well, I'm from Canada. I was actually thinking Vancouver, British Columbia,
Oh
but
my
okay.
god, we're Canadian too, man. But come on. Even when I think West Coast, I always think of LA.
Yeah, no, I'm kidding.
So, or California, not LA. I'm, you know, just
But here's the thing, though. I don't know. Okay, let's just say, for the sake of argument, this group was somehow formed in the MCU. I don't know if they'd actually call themselves West Coast Avengers, though, just because I can't see Marvel reusing a team name. Even though it does exist in the comics. It's like the whole thing about how people are wondering if Dark Avengers were actually going to be just called Thunderbolts instead. Like they're gonna kind of meld the two and just call them Thunderbolts instead of Dark Avengers.
all right. Let me paint a scene for you. West Coast Avengers, assemble. Good ring, bad ring. What
It
do you think?
doesn't. I mean, here's the thing, though. I just feel that I think from a PR point of view, I'm just thinking about it from the business side. I just think that they might think that it's almost like hang on the coattails of the Avengers, so to
I
speak.
I personally think that if they did a West Coast Avengers spinoff, which I personally do think they will, I think that they'll have a show. I think that what Marvel has done in you can kind of see it. I could totally see them not even mentioning West Coast Avengers. Like they would obviously call the show like West Coast Avengers, obviously. I think at the end of the season of that show, they would literally just kind of joke about something. Like I could see one of the characters being like, "Hey, I mean, I guess we're the West Coast Avengers. We are out west," right? Like just something like that.
Maybe, yeah,
I
maybe
could
like a
see it like
subtle,
that,
yeah,
but I don't see them calling themselves West Coast Avengers. I agree with you there.
yeah. I could see them doing something like that where they do like a subtle, like a hat tip, like just somewhat of like an Easter egg. But yeah, just because I just feel like the head cheese at Marvel probably are thinking that when you start labeling them as the like whatever Avengers, Great Lake Avengers, West Coast Avengers, people are gonna no doubt compare them to the OG Avengers.
Yep.
Not us, but I mean like I'm just talking about the general pop that's actually watching the MCU stuff. So maybe they don't want them to kind of fall into that. They don't want to pigeonhole them in that kind of scenario.
I don't see them doing a cartoon of this one though. Wet Dreams. That sounds weird to say out loud. Um, just because they've already dropped some hints at it with like live action shows, right? So like I just don't think that they would go the cartoon route. Plus they've got a lot on their plate in terms of like animation. So I could totally see it just being live action 100%. But again, Como, what's going on, man? How you doing, man? Avengers 90210. Yo,
Oh
I was at the
geez.
postal office. I was at the postal office like 3 days ago, and I had to send a package to California. So I sent the package to California, but I forgot to write the postal code to
Oh.
LA or whatever. I don't know. I don't know how it works, right? And then the postal office lady goes, "Hey, what's the postal code?"
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, "Oh shit. I don't know. Let me Google it." And then she starts Googling it and we can't find it. And then like the lady right behind us is like 90210 Beverly Hills. How do you not know that? And I just felt like, yo, relax. Like shit. Like it was just
It was going to Beverly Hills?
I guess. I don't know, because that's the postal code that needed to go on that address. So I don't know if it's just Beverly Hills that has that postal code or whatever. So I don't know. And if you bought that package from me, don't worry, it's getting there safe.
Well, first of all, who's giving you out addresses without their postal code? I mean,
I
like,
had it. I just didn't. I was just in a rush, man. I had like 15 packages there. So yeah. And that was like one of two
what were you
American
doing? Like, were
packages.
you
So
sending like headshots or something to
no,
Hollywood?
man. Animated show bringing all the B-list characters. It works though, man. It works. It works. Champions, defenders, ultimate. I think that's way down the line. As long as they don't become the Justice League International. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh god. Minuteman saying I was there for the JL International. Still have them in the boxes. What's going on, Kev? How you doing, man? It went to Beverly Hills either way. There you go. Yeah. Zip codes. Oh yeah, it's zip codes. It's not postal codes for Americans. I forgot.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Our
it's zip
bad. Well,
codes.
actually,
That's
it's
what always
Nubi's
throws
bad.
me off. They're like,
It
"What's a
was his
zip
story.
code?"
It was his story.
I'm like, what? All right. Let's go on to the next book. While we're talking West Coast, we got to bring up this book. And I know what you guys are thinking. New, what? Come on, man. We can't talk about this, but we have to talk about this. One, this character is coming back. Two, this book is literally 60% cheaper than at the height of when this character showed up, which means it's not crazy to think that those numbers could be reached again. So if you could get a 9.8 for about $700, which is still pricey. I mean, $700 is not, a lot of people, that's their paycheck, right? Like, let's call it what it is, right? 9.8s at one point, though, when this character showed up in WandaVision last year, this book was more expensive than New Mutants 98. That's ridiculous. That's
That's
crazy.
insane. Yeah, that's
Right?
always that fascinated me back then,
Yeah.
and still fascinates me now.
So the fact that this book has dropped all the way to $700 to $1,000, I mean, it is still expensive at that price, right? I mean, for a lot of us, this book was maybe a wall book at like $20 and maybe like in the $5 to $10 bins. Like it wasn't a book that was like, oh my God, because you saw it everywhere and then it just went crazy. But I mean, hype. If I could tell you, hey man, I know this sounds crazy, buy this book for $700, but I guarantee you when this guy shows up again, possibly to run the West Coast Avengers, or possibly in WandaVision 2, or possibly Doctor Strange 2, or possibly some Marvel title, that this thing could go back up to $2,800. Wouldn't you take that fucking $2,200 or $2,000 profit?
I would, because I would take it happily, just because I just don't think this book is worth anywhere near that ballpark. So for that reason, I have no problem offloading it for that much. I mean, look, we all have our own tastes in comics and our own, preference in characters, but I'm just gonna ask, and this is not me, being, sarcastic or being an ass, but is there an actual White Vision fan, like a true White Vision fan, that would actually be willing to pay top dollars, not so much just for the flip, just to keep it in their PC? Like they're willing to pay like 3 figures, 4 figures for this West Coast Avengers 45 just to hold on to their PC.
I've
It's
never met
hard for
one.
me to, it's hard for me to fathom. And again, this is an honest question, and I'm not downplaying people's preferences. I'm just curious. That's all.
Yeah, it's a tough one, man. Because there was never, like, I shouldn't say never, right? If Justin Bieber taught me anything, it's never say never. That was his movie, guys. He didn't really, like, I don't know him or anything, but this one's pretty tough because you have Dan De La Torre up there saying Avengers 57 is the better investment. When I totally agree. That is the vision that you kind of know and we love and we've seen in movies and the comics, and that's the iconicness. But if you're looking at investment, or you're looking at, hey, you know what, maybe I can make a few bucks here. I mean, we know, and that's the important thing, right? Like, we know this character's coming back. He just shot up and went, I got to go do something, and then disappears and then is gone. But now there's
Right.
rumors of him leading a West Coast Avengers show. There's rumors of him possibly being in Doctor Strange, possibly being in WandaVision 2. He's still tied to Wanda, possibly still tied to, Doctor Strange with all this craziness. So it's not out of the realm that this character comes back. Now, while I do think that Avengers 57 is the book, the version that we're going to get of Vision moving forward is this one. So in a way, it's better, because that Avengers 57, to just the average person, they might sell them off. And people who are like hardcore fans or want that iconic book, they could get it. But this is the version that we're going to get of the character. So I think that this one's going to hold a little bit more weight moving forward for a short period. But if he's going to be White Vision, and I don't know why we call him White Vision, because it's just Vision, but White Vision, like this book is the one that's going to hold value and weight. So
It's again, it's all about shelf life for me, in terms of when people are forking up that amount of money for a book. I mean, like, look, if people are willing to pay that much, it goes back to the whole Joaquin Torres. I almost said Joaquin Phoenix, Joaquin Torres as the Falcon book. I mean, yeah, I know you mentioned that he'll. There's rumors that he might lead West Coast Avengers and all that, but even still, I mean, it. I still feel that Avengers 57 is the safer book and the safer investment always has been.
Yeah. If
It's
you look
just
at the
like,
numbers, though, if you look at the numbers, it's
yeah, but okay, like a book like this, I always kind of I treat it like stocks. Anytime a book like this shoots up in percentage that fast, I just find that it's much more prone to having a faster crash, if
yeah.
that makes sense.
Yep.
Like books that are like Avengers 57 has been a slow build, and you could even call it a blue chip key at this point. Yeah, it is a blue chip key because Vision has been a long-standing foundation of the Avengers, so it would be a blue chip. This is more of a volatile book in my opinion. So this is one of those books that catch it on the dip. I definitely would not recommend paying 3-4 figures for this. I mean, 3 figures would be 100 is probably tops I would pay for this.
At $100, you're maybe getting like a 7.5, 8.0.
Even still, yeah,
Maybe.
this is just my personal opinion on that. But you know what the funny thing is about that whole White Vision scenario? I was just reading the Mark Waid Avengers, like the first 6 issues, the one where Kang goes back and kills the Avengers when they're babies. And oddly enough, I didn't realize it, but that dialogue, you know, in the WandaVision show when Vision and White Vision were having that dialogue about if a ship has its parts removed, is it a brand new ship, or is it like, you know, the whole thing where he kind of messed up White Vision's mind?
Yeah.
That was actually in that run, that Mark Waid Vision run. So it's funny how MCU takes dialogue from like the modern stuff as well, not just stuff from the 80s and 90s. So, you know.
Moon Knight. Fast Rise. Like Moon Knight #2. Yeah. Well, speaking of
Yeah, Moon Knight.
white,
Look, Moon Knight #2. I would say
sell.
I feel
Make
sorry for
$120 off a $2 book. Sell it. Why? I
I've
don't
seen
understand people holding that book
yeah,
for long term.
I've seen the numbers of like those what people are paying for that 9.8 and top dollars, and I'm hoping that things work in your favor because I don't see good things for that book in the long run.
I don't either. So speaking of white, being an hour late, maybe he thought that we were just on a different time zone, but Mr. BC's in the house.
Sell the book. Sell this book. Just sell it.
Oh
Go make
gosh,
that money. What's
this
up, man?
ass.
How you doing, man?
This.
Doing good, guys, man. The little one just did not want to sleep tonight.
It's all good, dude. It's all good. Life happens.
Hey,
I can't believe you're saying sell this book.
Sell it.
We were just
No,
talking
hey,
about Kazar. Wait, we were talking about Kazar
I
#1
know,
though.
you motherfuckers. I know that. But yeah, yo, good books up so far, man. Quasar, yes, I'm saying it. The whole debate, Hulk 234. I have it. I'm excited, but anyways, I don't want to get into that debate. But here, West Coast Avengers. You guys say hold this?
I say buy.
I didn't say hold this. I was not in the hold this camp. I was in the
Listen,
buy low
I'm
and
saying
sell
that
high
this is a
camp.
perfect book to buy on the dip. Now, here's what I think. I think if somebody's selling it for $700, I would probably offer 630, 640, somewhere around there, right? The guy probably or lady probably already had it early, but I mean, when you look at and just the fact that this character is showing up again, the fact that this book jumped already. So it's not like somebody coming up to you and being like, hey, BC, you know what? I think this book could reach almost $3,000. No. It's already reached that level. So who's to say it doesn't reach that level again? And that's something that I always try to tell people where like they just throw numbers up the ass like, oh, this could be a $10,000 book. Has it reached 10,000? No. So then tell me what it's reached. It's reached almost 3. I could totally see this going back up to at least 2 in 9.8 when the character shows up. And I think that for those reasons, especially if you're investing and want to flip, You're literally leaving almost $1,200 on the table when this character shows up.
Man, but you really think it's gonna explode that high again?
Dude, look at Arthur Harrow.
Yeah.
Look at all these characters that just show up that don't mean necessarily as much as White Vision would down the road. I think White Vision is an OG. And again, if the rumors are true and he's getting his own show and he's going to be running the West Coast Avengers, this book is going to be right in our face and people are going to jump. If there's an ad tomorrow that says, hey, White Vision is going to reappear in this, you know how many people are going to go crazy for this book?
Yeah. Newbie, I think the only reason why this puzzles me is because this is always going to be that book that I always saw in the fucking dollar bins. Everybody passed, and then you're gonna tell me $3,000 for this? Like, well,
hey, remember, and like I said when I always bring this book up, I am the biggest anti of this book. I was for the biggest time.
You're the biggest auntie of this book?
No, I said anti of this book. Like I was totally against this book. And why? Was because this book passed New Mutants 98 at the time that there was that confirmed report that Deadpool 3 was going to happen.
Yeah.
At the time of that, and you have a way more popular character.
Yeah.
And it literally passed it.
It's just it's mind-boggling. But yeah, man, look, even if this book were to spike again,
I heard your little giggle there, man. Not auntie. I said auntie. God damn people.
Anti. But but yeah, man. Anyways, look, even currently selling $700 to $1,000, man, you made some serious coin because you picked this up guaranteed within those dollar bins. You know what I mean? So I agree. Do pick it up. It might explode again, which wouldn't surprise me. I do question and think about how long this character would stay within the MCU. Would it be short term, long term? I don't think it's gonna be long term. So it is a good time to buy it. I don't think it's long term.
If he's got a show, I just think that means long term. They're not gonna bring a character.
Yeah, but here's the thing,
dude. White Vision, man. Like,
I mean, okay, look. I get it. He might have a show, but the thing is, you also have to look at the character themselves. I mean, in terms of screen presence, charisma, and all that, I don't see that. Like, Vision was never a very charismatic character to begin with in the MCU. So the White Vision is just going to be another iteration of him, but I just don't see him catching the world on fire.
Yeah. But who knows? Who knows? Maybe it explodes. Like right now, even if you did find it, like I said, at a low buy-in.
Hey, listen, I ain't gonna bash this book no more because I ain't gonna bash Newbie's nephew.
No.
Listen, if I find this book for $500 in 9.8, I would buy it.
Oh yeah,
that's how confident I am about being able to flip this down the road when he comes and at least doubling my money, 100%.
Yeah, no. Look, 500. You're saying they're currently selling between $7,000 to $1,000. So yeah, 500. You're still in the money, but
yeah, he wouldn't be White in the TV show, not in today's culture. Yeah, I think we just call him White Vision. I think it's just Vision for him. Like
it's just, I mean, just to make it, for simplicity's sake, we'll just call him White Vision.
Fox, what's going on, man? Thanks for joining us, dude.
Yeah, but
anyone who pays $300 plus but that's the same thing. Okay, but AOA, I could say the exact same thing about people with Moon Knight #2, Volume 2. I think people who are paying $120 for that raw are out of their freaking minds.
And I wouldn't disagree with you though.
But people are still doing it.
Guys, my question here is White Vision, or do we get back Vision in the MCU?
That is also a possibility.
I think it's White for a reason. Read the hints.
Yeah.
White. Now they're dropping all this West Coast Avengers stuff. Where does this character show up? West Coast Avengers. He shows up in issue 45. The 45th moon is dropping when this show dropped. Think about all that. It's all together. I actually don't know about the moon stuff. I was just throwing that shit out there.
Yeah. Hey, I'm just debating.
Yeah, no, and it's a good debate. It's a good debate. Woke Vision, Off-White. Yeah. I would still get Avengers 57 before this.
Yeah, for sure.
I think that's the OG book. I think that is the book, but I just think that
it's just a safer play. Also, I
yeah.
find.
I think for the investment though, like I said, if I find this book in 9.8 and I get it offered 500, I think I would make a play on it just simply because down the road, I think it could reach that 1,800 $2,000 mark when he shows up, and it's just an easy payday. So
I'm just curious, man. What is Avengers 57 selling for right now?
I think Kumo Comics said a 7.0 57 goes for 700 US, I think it was.
Yo,
That's actually pretty decent for a 7.0.
Yeah, like I'm looking at a 6.0 right now on eBay, and they're asking 690 Canadian. So that's what I'm saying is like looking at those numbers. I would
for
go
a character especially for a character that's been around.
Listen, can we just agree that if this character shows up and this book just goes crazy again, we just say, "Hey, noob, you were right." Like that's all. Can we do that?
Gonna be like, nephew.
Yeah,
I said auntie. I didn't. Oh my god.
Okay, Ani.
I gotta stop saying it.
We love you, Auntie Newbie.
What if the book is a 9.8 but has cream to off-white pages worth? This is a good debate. This is a good conversation because I've had a conversation with a few people actually. Like, do you care about, and not you, Swag, just like in general, I'm just throwing this question out in the universe, but like, do you go for the 9.8? Because sometimes I'm a sucker and I just see, 9.8, I'm taking it, right? I don't really look at page quality. What do you guys think? Like, a 9.8 is a 9.8 regardless, right? If a basketball goes in off the backboard or swish or
I don't know.
I mean, it still goes in. So
not all 9.8s are created equal from the slabs I've seen. I've seen
lately.
I've seen some slabs where it has no business being a 9.8 just by looking, just not even taking like a magnifying glass, just by a glance you could almost feel like the grader had an off day that day.
He goes, "Oh, that was a joke. Feels like White Vision needs white pages."
I had a feeling that's where this was going, but
my gosh,
honestly, off-white, whatever. I really don't like. It doesn't change for me on that aspect. Like, if you want to pay that much more to get those, the white pages, by all means. But yeah. I'm not one to really care too much. But I do I do agree with Hyper 1,000%, man. Even 9.8s, bro, are questionable lately.
Yeah, that's true. There's some 9.8s I have, like some of the newer stuff where I'm like, how's this a fucking 9.8? Like you see like a little tear. Yeah. So I'm like, how is this a 9.8? Like
that's a debate.
Mind blown. Como Comics, like I said, he had the math, but he did the last sale was a 9.2 for 20, let's call it 2,200 US.
That's for
Avengers 57. If I'm not mistaken, that's what he's doing.
That's still a pretty decent price, I gotta say, for a book.
So again, a 9.2 of the OG Vision is still like you're looking 9.8 right there at 2,800. Like fuck, man, I would go OG. That's me, but
yeah, no, Ultra 9.8s can definitely have spine breaks, but I'm talking about to the point where I'm questioning if this is even a 9.4 or a 9.2.
Yeah.
All right, let's get off the off-white Vision. Let's get into our next book for Undervalued Books. But we got Super Villain Classics Galactus, the Origin. Man, I love this cover. I see this book from time to time, sometimes in the $5, sometimes in the $10, sometimes in the $20. Obviously, price dictates condition. Hard to find like 9.8s or 9+ in the wild, but hear me out on this one. FF48, FF49, they're basically $2,000 books in really good condition. Unless you're going 0.5, 1.0, 1.8, you're still paying almost $1,200 for that. If you're a Galactus fan, you probably have had that book already, but let's look at some other, comparables, right? When you think of Doom, people literally go, FF5. Some people go the second appearance, FF6. Those are obviously expensive books, but then they start going down the ladder, right? So you go FF Annual 2. Some people now are going FF Annual 7. Then you go to Marvel Superheroes 20. So like, why couldn't this one spike? It's a dope ass cover. It's him, the name. him sharing this by himself. It is the origin story. I do think that this is just one of those books. BC, to your point. Hype, to your point. Chat, to your point. Older collectors, to your point about most of these books that spike in the end. This is the book that we see everywhere. Now we see it everywhere. So who's to say that maybe it spikes similar to how Marvel Superheroes 20 took off, right? Because that's like literally a $300 to $400 book raw. This could have the same effect. And I'm not talking just, print run or anything like that. I'm just saying the book itself, if Galactus were to show up or he's got something going on where he's in the background, I guarantee you this book spikes because it's one of those books that literally is everywhere. And then you're going to be regretting that you didn't fucking buy it because they're really cheap raw, like $10 to $50 depending on condition. That's insane to me, man.
Oh, dude, just to begin with, Bob Layton absolutely killed this cover. It's one of my favorites. Honestly, I pick it up every time I do see it. I always try to find it a little closer to the $20 range at most. Yeah. Like I won't be spending $50 Canadian unless it's a candidate to go to CGC and hit me a 9.8, man. But dude, the book's gonna explode for sure, man. Anything Galactus is gonna have that domino effect once, especially he hits the MCU. But man, his origin story is basically scattered amongst so many books, right? So the one that's most affordable right now, this one has the more room to grow in a sense of it's very affordable right now and will take off once he does hit the big screen, man. Besides that, though, I would obviously lean towards the other ones, but those are already up there in price. So sticking with this one, Bob Layton killed this cover, man. It's a beauty. I have one behind me somewhere here. I fucking love this cover, man.
Yeah, I mean, look, I definitely dig this cover, partly because this is one of those books. There you go.
Yo, hold up. I haven't seen a newsstand. Is that a newsstand?
It is.
My guy, look at this.
It's a newsstand.
You know how much I paid for this? $10.
Motherfucker. Hold on.
So
I'm gonna go see what mine is. This
is in my next CGC pile. Like,
looks
this
like
one is going out.
Newbie found a new nephew.
Shut up, man.
All right, I got one.
But when you think about it, though, right? Like a lot of the books that spiked, right? Oh shit! Look at there. There you go.
Nope.
A lot of the books that spike, like you see them everywhere, man. And like, I don't know. When they're priced very nice, I will pick this up all day.
Yeah.
I will. I think I have like 4 or 5 copies.
Yeah, and dude, like I said, even AOA is saying it. Of course, all the better buys are the Thor ones. Those ones are gonna explode, but affordable right now, man. I would pick this up. I do think it's gonna have a good room to grow once he does hit the big screen, man.
This is one of those books it's almost like it's gonna have like the waterfall effect when it comes to like a character.
I was just gonna say,
MCU. It's like I'll take myself for example. Like I'm collecting, like Wolverine, right? Different keys of Wolverine. Hulk 181 is the pinnacle of that character's grail. But then you have other books behind it, like 180, 340, and all that. And all those books are gonna rise when he hits the MCU, which I'm hoping he will. Same thing with Galactus. Obviously FF, 49,
48, 49.
I know, but people tend to, like, in terms of Galactus fans, I've noticed tend to prefer the 49 cover over the 48 just because he's actually on it. But then you have books like this, right? That's gonna, basically rise with the tide when Galactus comes. So yeah, this is definitely a book that, even if I would not be opposed to forking over a bit more just to get a nice clean copy, just because, like you guys said, this is a book that definitely has a lot of upswing to it.
I think, in high grades, you look at, 9.6s for $250. I'm not sure what 9.8s go for, but like, let's say maybe $350. I think if you were to get a copy like that and kind of just be patient with it, I do think that that's $1,000 book down the road. And to your point, Hype, which I forgot, that ladder effect, right? Mm-hmm. When you look at this book, similar to Doom,
yeah,
same thing, right? I mean, whether you're on FF 48 or 49. I mean, obviously, I know for Galactus it is 49 and then 48. But then you start looking at other books, and then you get into those Thor books. I think when you do the latter, people are going to be like, shit, if he shows up, FF 48, 49 are going to be untouchable for a very large amount of people. So people are going to go after those Thor books. But then those will become the $1,000 books, right?
Yep.
Like even in lower stuff. So even a lower grade of that, people aren't going to get. So what's the next option? It's going to be this one. I mean, there's more, but there's going to be this one is going to be up for grabs. And like, you know, when you're passing it up all the time at shops, at shows for literally nothing, I think you're just leaving money on the table, right? So I think it's a good book.
If White Vision could hit the numbers that you've shown it could hit, I can't see why this book shouldn't pass that book.
Yeah. Well, dude, for the sake of, I feel we're going to get some Galactus stuff earlier than we expect. That's why Fantastic 449 is on my wish list for 2022. I hope to lock it up.
Mine as well, but mine is more for a personal reason.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah.
But that's it. I want it in my PC before it ends up being fucking unaffordable. You know what I mean? Like,
no. Personal in the sense that, I mean, I told you the story about how I almost thought that the FF40 was 55 bucks. Yeah, I need to write that wrong. That's why.
No, let's not go there. But yeah, man, at 48, I know why you don't like it. Hype points out that the Watcher looks like he's in a Marilyn Monroe dress. But
don't say that. Listen,
I've never really.
You're gonna piss off all these Silver Age collectors.
No, listen, I love Fantastic Four. I love Silver Surfer, but like I've always been like, ugh, with that cover. Like it's not it's not a good one in my opinion.
It's okay, man. But for me, 49 is the better cover, man. I just think it's badass. But like we were just saying, man, there's so many books. Like you guys said, there's the ladder, the waterfall effect, all of that shit. This book is probably the most affordable, the cheapest one, with more, probably, I don't want to say the most room to grow. The other ones are going to explode as well. But I mean, you can turn a $20 book into God knows what, right? This one's probably going to hit.
Look at what Marvel Comics Presents 72 did for the longest time.
Right.
If you look at like some of the older and experienced collectors, that's a book that they found for $2 all day, maybe less, right?
Guys,
then all of a sudden the Wolverine stuff happened. What happened to that book in 9/8? It was like $800 Canadian.
You don't even need to preach. We all lived recently through the Kang effect, man. All the Kang covers exploded with absolutely no relevance to the stories. Literally.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did pretty well with the Kang stuff, man. Like, fuck. Everybody was just picking up.
And it's going to come back again. I mean, we haven't seen nothing yet with Kang in terms of his books.
I bought my first FF48 for $12. Sold it for $250. Would be double that today.
Como, what? How?
Look, this is similar to my Black Panther FF52 back in like 2011 or 2010. I can't remember. I bought it for like 125. It was 3.5, I think it was. Then I ended up selling it for like 350, like just before the movie. And I was such an idiot, but yeah.
I've never met anyone who bought Fantastic 448 for $12.
Yeah, I mean, I is the facsimile even going for $12?
I don't know. But man,
maybe he bought it off the shelf, or maybe he bought it like, well, no, $12.
No, he couldn't have bought it off the shelf unless they weren't doing ratios back then.
We would have thrown 10 cents back then.
Yeah. Well, hey, let's stick with the same character, because there's a book that, I mean, me personally, I didn't talk about it because I had this, you know, it's my show, but like you guys didn't talk about it, so I am kind of surprised. But when we talk about the waterfall effect, you guys missed one book when it comes to Mr. Galactus.
Dimmi.
What did he just say?
Dimmi. I said tell me.
Oh, okay. I thought he just made up another word.
No.
What? I'm talking Fantastic 475. Now, I think it's a little bit down the ladder, but at the same time, you're talking about an iconic cover, all red. I love it. I mean, I love this cover. The Doom effect, right? With all the covers, you know, classic Kirby, love early Fantastic Four. I mean, yes, I know it's issue 75, but I mean, they got like 600, 700 issues, people. Raw copy sell anywhere between $80 and $120 Canadian, man. I think it's super undervalued, and a book that if Galactus ever does hit, again, waterfall, ladder effect, I think this one explodes too.
Dude, just for the reasons you said, yeah, man, it's totally covered by, man. It's a nice, dope Kirby cover, bro. Would have that effect, dude. Even the early Fantastic Four books, man, they're just owning it is fucking awesome, man. Like I'm chasing them. I'll be honest with you. I'm trying to scoop up whatever I can Fantastic Four before it is too late. But yeah, man, this one would definitely take off. I do see some room for growth there, man. Like you said, the Doom effect, ladder, waterfall, whatever you want to say. But yeah, man, this is definitely something to pick up if you find it at a good price, man.
Oh, wait. Before I say my point, Empire Comics, he's saying he's keeping an eye for that first appearance of Ant-Man as Herald of Galactus. I don't know. I'm looking for the first appearance of Aunt Newbie, the Herald of White Vision.
He's got jokes. Do it, Newbie. Uh-oh.
No, I thought I had something there. No.
But anyways, hold on, Hype. You're talking about the what if, right?
Yeah, I believe that was a what if that Empire was alluding to. Yeah. Okay, here's my question about this book. I've seen this cover. It is an iconic Kirby cover. Is there anything of significance in the actual any? Okay, so this is mainly because of the Kirby cover.
Yeah.
I can still dig that. I can still dig that though. But yeah, this is one of those books. Sorry, what was that?
No, I was gonna say, you see, Newbie's got a comment from Uni that's up. It's the same thing, right? It's Fantastic Four 243 with fucking
John Byrne. That one is I love that cover. That's another book that you could find in the wild and down the road.
It's already getting up there. It's already getting up there. That's what I'm saying. So yeah, total cover things. But yeah, go Hype. Sorry.
No. I'm just gonna say this is just like copy pasting my point from the Galactus Origin book, where if you're a fan of this character, and a lot of people are fans of Galactus, you're already hunting for these kind of books, in your checklist. So again, this is inevitably gonna get a second win when that character does come into the MCU.
Yeah, I just love this book, man. I mean, Fantastic Four. I just love it. Now, Eternals has passed. We've all seen Eternals except Hyper, I think. I think Galactus is a little closer than maybe people think. I think maybe just the big time cosmic stuff is going to be in the mix. I think, maybe we get some. So I don't know. I really do think that, again, when things that we've talked about in the past in certain shows, and even tonight, a lot of people in the comments are like, man, like this was everywhere. How did it reach this? Like, I think a lot of these books will reach that, the same answer. We're going to look at these books and be like, fuck, man, why didn't we not just to hey, listen to Newbie, but I mean, like these books, the writing is on the wall in a lot of these. And it's like, get them while they're cheap. Cause I mean, whether you're in it because you like the book, FOMO, investment, flip, whatever the case may be. Right. So, Uniax is saying people should be getting everything Galactus and Doctor Doom and stop chasing tossing your salad. Oh God,
what accent was BC doing?
I don't know. The Olympics are going on, so maybe he's watching some.
I don't know.
I'm a tired dad, man, and I'm still here. Let's do this.
Newbie, you were trying to kill me tonight. One of the dozen or so Kirby era books I bought in the early 80s came home this year at a CGC 7.5. This is just one step down from issue 72. Damn. That's actually pretty good. I mean, if you bought them in that era and it's still held to 7.5 all this time, man.
I'm clearly born in the wrong decade.
Well, listen, Hype, you weren't too far off.
Oh, shut up.
63 in the chat. Hit that like button. Yes. Well, 65 now. Make sure you guys go hit that like button and make sure you subscribe for more content.
Listen, just because BC was born just when they brought out the Ultimate side, don't blame me.
These three books I mentioned are early subatomic worlds where the MCU seems to be headed. See the comic book canon show I did several weeks ago where I explained this in detail. Yep, issue 72 is pending delivery, so we'll see. Grab both. Yeah. Well, those We're the 10 books undervalued for the show.
Damn.
That's right. I want to thank you guys for joining, man. Hype, obviously, thanks for hopping on. Made it more entertaining for me, that's for sure.
I'll be honest. I stressed way less once I saw Hype on because I was tuned in and I'm like, man, this kid better fall asleep, man. And here we are.
I can't wait to grow up and be all Silver Age ball.
We're almost there. Right?
Oh man, I just want them to come out and stop. Like, I hate when people are like, even books now, right? Like 2022, and people are like, yeah, it's a modern. It's like, fuck, man. We're gonna be 2052, and is it gonna be a fucking modern? Like,
that actually was a question of mine. At what point we cut off this era and then we start a new era in comics? It's like
I cut it off after like 2012, I think.
Is this what's the range now? It's what, 76 till current? Is that our modern age bracket?
Yep, pretty much.
Damn.
So I don't know.
I mean, it works when you're CGC grading books.
Oh, 100%, 100%. That's why I didn't want to buy like a Tomb of Dracula raw or a
that
raw, because like
that
I'll never
book
see
barely
that.
made it. That book barely. It almost would have hit the modern just by a few years.
I know, it's fucked up, man. Like I said yesterday on Comic Kingpin, so if you did miss it, this Sunday there is a Super Bowl. It only comes around once a year, so the newbieverse is not happening for show 81. So in the 2 years I've been on YouTube, this is the second time that we will, it'll be not happening. So that's pretty good odds, right? But yeah, I just have to do some work stuff during the day. I wanted to move it up, but I just can't. And then I finish what I got to do around like 4 or 5, and then the game starts at 6:30. I got family coming over, so unfortunately, guys, I won't be doing the show. We will be back on next Tuesday, so make sure you guys go tune in to us there. Comic Kingpins are going to be rolling out 7 p.m. on Monday, so maybe I hop on there. I don't know. Actually, no, I don't know if I'm going to do it because it's Valentine's Day. So,
bro,
yeah. Sorry, guys.
Hey, but listen. We understand newbies Sunday. It's Super Bowl. He's hosting family. And everyone's excited to see Auntie Newbie, and we all.
Oh my god!
Who you got to win, bro? Tell the people.
Cincinnati. I got Cincinnati.
I'm going to LA. Fuck that. Hype. It's down to you.
Listen,
He's like the Broncos.
I don't follow football, right? So
just say one.
I'll flip a coin on that one. Okay, wait, hold on. I don't know.
Saturday.
They bought helmets and then they both lose. I don't know.
No, pick one. Come on.
Fine, LA.
Booyah.
Just because it's a cooler city. All right. So I'm going based on that.
Stuck with the Kingpins. Look at him.
Oh my god. Listen, I just like an underdog story. I think what Cincinnati's done for them being garbage, for 33 years and never winning a playoff game in that time up until this year. I think that, I think it'd be more interesting. So I'm hoping for that. I'm just hoping for a good game because I hate when there's blowouts like, the Seattle Denver one or the Tampa Oakland one back in 2002. So I'm just hoping for a good game. I hope, everybody has a good time. Nobody drinks and drive. And if you do, I mean, only drink, don't drive. But yeah, man, I'm just hoping for a good weekend. So like I said, we're going to be rocking on Tuesday, but I'm hopefully going to have a special video coming out, probably like an 8-minute video on Sunday. So you don't necessarily not get newbie on Sunday, but I will be dropping a video on Sunday. Fingers crossed that I get it out. But that is my goal for you guys. So with that said, you guys want to say anything before we take off?
Hey guys, newbie's back on Tuesday, but head over to Comic Kingpins Monday. Valentine's Day special, baby. You never know what might happen there, man. Giveaways. We do shit at random, man. Come hang out.
Yeah, and listen, if you forgot Valentine's Day and your spouse is pissed off at you, visit your local library.
This guy.
Dan, you're absolutely right. Go Yanks. Woo! All right. Like I always do, I want to thank everybody who tuned in. We had about 68 live. So I do thank everybody for hanging out with us on New Comic Book Day Eve. Enjoy your New Comic Book Day tomorrow. Don't ruin anything. All right. Like I always say, keep searching because those books are out there
Somewhere.
Nephew.